with Cox Campus. We are so excited to be here with you. If you haven't done so already, you can go to coxcampus.org and create your own free account. Everything from Cox Campus is completely free, brought to you by the Cox Foundation. And we hope that you will join us on the site. We are so excited to learn and share music together today. It's going to be so much fun to learn together. We are joined by some very special guests for our session today, Family Read Alouds. So thank you everyone for being here. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Jen, who's going to introduce our special guest, Mr. Tim.
Hello and welcome back to all my special friends. I'm so glad you joined us again today. Today, we'll welcome back Mr. Tim, and I also have with me a very special guest. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Marianne, and I am Miss Jen's daughter. Today, I will be the co-host.
Fantastic. So, Marianne, as your first job as a co-host, can you review for us what we did?
Last time you read the book Parts by Ted Arnold. You read it 3 times, each time doing something different.
So we learned about the read strategy, where we read the same book many different times. And when we read a book multiple times, we can extend the fun by reading the books with family, which is why my family is here.
Does that mean I can only read with you or Daddy?
Nope. You can read with anyone you think of as your family, whether that's anyone you live with or you go to school with. You have a school family, don't you?
Yeah, like my neighbors.
Exactly. Or you could read with your neighbors. You could even read with your pets or stuffed animals.
That sounds fun.
See, anyone that you think as family can read with you. Now, when we read with family, we can be a little extra silly. So let's read the book Parts again. And this time, Marianne, what kind of voice should we read Parts in the beginning?
Maybe we should read it mostly like scared, because I read the book before, and in the beginning, he seems kind of scared because of what's happening to him.
Oh, good. Okay, let's see if we can read scared. Parts. I just don't know what's going on or why it has to be, but every day it's something worse. What's happening to me? Does that sound scary?
Yeah.
Can you read scared?
I think it was 3 days ago I first became aware that my comb that in my comb were caught a couple pieces of my hair.
Oh, nice. That was good. And I like how you went back and thought and sounded out the word in your head.
Thank you.
I stared at them, amazed and more than just a bit appalled, to think that I was only 5 and starting to go bald.
Wait, he's 5? He looks a little bit bigger.
Oh, so he looks like he might be older than 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then later on, I don't recall exactly when it was, I lifted up my shirt and found this little piece of fuzz. I stared at it, amazed and wondered, what's this all about? But then I understood. It was my stuffing coming out.
Wait, he has stuffing in
it? Do you think he has stuffing? What has stuffing in it?
Toys.
Oh, toys. Is he a toy?
No, he's a human.
Yeah, so he must be thinking about toys.
Uh-huh.
Next day when I was outside playing with the water hose, I saw that little bit of skin were peeling from my toes.
Wait, why is he worried about just peeling skin? That happens all the time to everybody.
Oh, that does. Do you think it's the first time that he's noticed that?
Maybe because he's 5.
Maybe. I stared at them, amazed, and then I gave a little groan to think that pretty soon I might be peeled down to the bone. Then yesterday, before my bath, as I took off my clothes, a chunk of something gray and wet fell right out of my nose.
What could that be? Because usually boogers only be like green.
Oh, yeah. I wonder why he thought it was gray if it was a booger.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What color do you think his brain is?
Oh, his brain is either pink or grayish.
Yeah. So do you think he dropped a booger, or do you think he's worried and saw it as gray, so he thought of it as
His brain.
his brain? Oh, you were right. You remembered the story. I stared at it, amazed, and thought, I should be feeling pain. Well, wouldn't you if you just lost a little piece of brain? You were right. You remembered that he thought it was the brain.
But I don't think even if it was just the size of a burger, it wouldn't exactly hurt.
That's true. Although, I feel like boogers are meant to fall out of your nose.
Yes.
Brain?
No.
No.
I don't think that inside your body has a loop-de-loop either.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
Maybe.
not.
I don't think so. So now today, I'm sitting here enjoying Dr. Seuss, and suddenly I realize a tooth is coming loose.
What? But everybody has these teeth. I have 2 in my mouth right now.
Oh, yeah, it must be the first time he had a loose tooth. He must not have even heard about the tooth fairy. I wiggle it, amazed, dismayed, too horrified to speak. Without my teeth, how can I eat? Already I feel weak. Now I'm really worried. I'm as scared as I can be, 'cause finally what's happening is very clear to me. Do you remember?
So he thinks that every part of his body's falling apart, like my bones probably like fell apart, so like everything's falling apart. So I remember later on in the story he tries to use duct tape.
Do you remember that too? What do you think happens next? Do you remember?
Also, when he says that I already feel weak, he's just imagining that, because the more you feel something or see something, the more you like really think it's gonna happen. Like if you feel sick or your stomach hurts, just if you stop worrying about it so much, you'll start to feel better and better and better. But he's worrying it so much, so he's starting to feel weak.
The glue that holds our parts together isn't holding me.
I don't think glue's even in your body.
Maybe not, but he thinks
Only
it is.
bones.
Yeah. Only bones and
Yeah,
muscles.
Yep.
And now I'm thinking to myself, what's next in line to go? Might be my ears, might be my eyeballs. How's a kid to know? He's very scared right now. Would you be scared?
No, because since I'm 8, I bet I would be scared if I was 5, but since I already know what this stuff is, I wouldn't be that scared.
Oh, do you remember what he thought was going to fall out of his body? What was it?
I actually don't really remember, but so let's keep reading to find out.
Okay. One day I might be playing ball and have my arm fall off. Or maybe I will lose my head if suddenly I cough. Quite soon I'll be in pieces in a pile without a shape. Thank goodness Dad keeps lots and lots of masking tape. Oh, you were right. You remembered that he tries to use tape. Do you remember that? Did you remember the tape that he used? What? You forgot to tell me teeth fall out And when they do, some brand new teeth will soon begin to sprout.
But of course they forgot because it looks like they're reading a book called Parenting for Beginners. So they might be new to this.
Oh, maybe this is their first child.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Maybe they're forgetting what they have to tell because they're new parents too.
Yeah.
My hair, my skin, and everything. There's nothing I should fear. Oh, should I still be reading like I'm scared?
No, you should be reading like you're happy.
Oh, okay. Let's try that again. My hair, my skin, and everything. There's nothing I should fear. So all of me is normal? Woo! That's really good to hear.
May I try reading the last page?
Sure.
Thank you. Then tell me, what is this yellow stuff I got out of my ear? Oh, that's disgusting.
That's gross. What did he find in his ear?
He found, what's it called?
Do you
I
remember?
forget.
Like earwax?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I know. It's a little gross. I know. But I do like that book. Do you like that book?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about the book?
I think I like how I actually have two favorite parts. I mostly like the whole book because my two favorite parts combine the book together. When he realizes that like nothing's wrong and when he actually gets scared. So for me, I love the whole book and I have no favorite part.
Oh, you like the whole
Yeah.
book. Good. Wow. I think there's more fun to be had with this book. So once we've read a book, we can extend the fun further by doing more with the book. Marianne, instead of just reading the book, what other fun things could we do about parts?
We could act it out. We could learn about more parts in your body.
Oh,
We could learn what might happen when we're older.
that's cool. Maybe we could build a body.
My class, when I was in second grade, my class made a class skeleton. And the funny part was we even put One Piece song on the thing. We put the shoulder blade in a different place it wasn't supposed to be.
Oh, you made a mistake?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
And then my teacher found out, and because she was the one who made the mistake, we weren't allowed to put it on. And like the smartest kid in the class named Ken saw it and told the teacher.
Oh, whoops. Well, that would be fun to build a body or to learn more about the body parts.
It is fun.
For today, I thought we could invite Mr. Tim back.
That's going to be so fun.
I know Mr. Tim was here last week and did it with us. And this week, I thought Mr. Tim could show us the parts of his saxophone.
That's cool.
So could we welcome Mr. Tim?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Let's welcome Mr. Tim.
Let's welcome Mr. Tim and his saxophone.
Hey everybody, Mr. Tim back here again. And to piggyback off of our book all about body parts, as we mentioned, I would love to share some of the parts of the saxophone. And interestingly enough, for the saxophone and some other instruments as well, it works kind of similarly to our body. So let's do a little bit of recall here. And if we have the whole saxophone together, you see this beautiful instrument? Look at this beautiful instrument. If we have the whole saxophone together, we are able to really, really express ourselves and how we're feeling, just like our character in the book. So if I was feeling nervous or kind of scared, I can have kind of a nervous or scared sound. If I were feeling, there were a part in the book where he was feeling, he was groaning. And then there was also the part in the book, do you recall, where he found out that he wasn't just all of his parts being held together by glue, is that his body, all these things are natural. Things kind of fall apart or maybe get a little bit loose. All of these things are natural and happen to all of us. And I remember he had such a feeling of relief when he found this out from his parents. And we had a sound like, whew, and he just felt so much relief and probably felt quite a bit happier after that, finding out that It's natural for our bodies to have these kinds of things happen. So how about we learn a little bit about the parts of the saxophone, and we're going to break this part into 3 different parts, starting with this. So this we hear or see is called a mouthpiece. Can everyone find their mouth on their bodies? We have it right here. Well, just as our mouths are used to make sound, it's the same for a saxophone with our mouthpiece. And it sounds a little something like this. Just on its own, just this one part sounds like this. Kind of a funny sound, isn't it? Now, what's inside of our mouth? What's this part called? What's that part called? Huh? I can't understand you. What? I can't understand you. I can't understand you at all. Oh, you had your tongue out. That's why. That's why. It's your tongue. Guess what? The mouthpiece is kind of an extension of our tongue. So if I hold the saxophone or mouthpiece up and I go, I'm kind of singing or saying ta 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 ta. Try it again. Ta 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 ta. Can you guys try that with me? I'll try it on the saxophone mouthpiece, and then you try singing it at home. You got it? Ta 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 ta. Ta 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 ta. Good. It's like we're using our tongue. The mouthpiece for a saxophone is kind of an extension, another part of our tongue or our mouth. All right, now our mouth on our bodies, our human bodies, is right above this part of our body. What is this part of our body called? That's right, a neck. Well, on the saxophone, it works the same way. This part on the saxophone is called the neck. You see it? Yeah, has a curve in it, kind of like our necks. Almost like a giraffe a little bit, huh? With its long neck. Even has a little gold here like a giraffe. Now, if we take the mouthpiece and put it on top of the neck, just like our mouths are just above on top of our neck, let's see what happens to the sound. All right, did you all bring your listening ears today? You got your ears on? Got those music ears on? All right, let's listen carefully and see if the sound changes. Here's the mouthpiece on its own. And here it is on top of the neck. It changed. How did it change? Did the sound get higher or lower? Did the pitch go higher or lower? Like with our voice, if we go high, it's gonna be up here. But then we can go way down low. That's called pitch in music. Let's hear if the pitch goes higher or lower. Here's the mouthpiece. Here's the mouthpiece with the neck. The pitch went lower. So now as our instrument and our parts are starting to come together, what is all the rest of our parts together called? If we put all the rest of our parts together, everything below the neck, let's say, everything else, what do we call that? If we could put all of those parts into one word, what would we call it? What's that? That's right, our body. Same on the saxophone. This is called the body of the saxophone. And if we put the neck with the mouthpiece on top of the body, we have all of our parts in place. And just like with humans, when we have all of our parts in place, there's so much amazing things we can do. Like go outside and run and play and swim and oh my gosh, we have all of our parts working together. And there's so much we can do with that. Same with the saxophone. Now that we have all the parts together, how about we play a melody or a song that's, I love to play. I learned this when I was very young. It's called Body and Soul. Goes a little something like this.
I loved learning about the different parts of the saxophone. Each part made such different sounds. I wonder if reading with our families will do the same and make my brain grow more. Miss Crystal, will today's activity make my brain stronger?
Welcome back, Anita.
Thanks so much for having me, Crystal. It's great to be here again.
Absolutely. It's exciting to just hear more about the family read alouds and just how the read strategy goes hand in hand with what we're doing with young children with those read alouds. So for the viewers, I would like for us to kind of recap the read strategy today. How about that?
I think that'd be great. I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick.
Awesome. Thank you, Anita. And so for our viewers on the screen, there you have it. Here's what each letter in the read strategy represents. If you haven't already, please feel free to scan the QR code. That is where you will find many other resources on Cox Campus in addition to the read strategy, as well as discussion boards, courses, what have you. Everything's right there for you. We invite you to log in and to sign up if you're not already a member. But Anita, can you just walk us through each letter in the read strategy one more time for our viewers, please?
Yes, I'm happy to. So here again, the letter R stands for repeat the book. We recommend you guys read the book a few times, and each time you're reading it, you have a different conversation with your child. After you read it the first few times and get to know the characters and get to know the plot, you can read it the next few times, just focusing on those emotions and thoughts of the characters. And by the end, your child will be reading that book back to you, and you can do even more with them, ask them to tell you the story this time. Moving on to E, this is one of the more exciting ones in the strategy. You're going to engage and enjoy the book, bring out your silly voices, add names and tones of voices to each character, use gestures and facial expressions, different ones for each character. And that PAT vocabulary strategy is also at the bottom of your screen, where you're going to point out the words or the items and act them out and tell your child a child-friendly definition so they remember what each word means as well. And today we're covering A, the letter A, which is all about asking questions to your child. And you might think it's silly to ask questions while reading a book, but it's actually incredible strategy to use because you want to know what your child is able to comprehend from the story you're reading, and you want to see what they're thinking, and you want to be able to talk about the book with them. So questions are really important for gauging your child's understanding, and they show children that their thoughts and their voice matter in the concepts of the story. There are two types of questions we encourage you to ask your child while reading. There are open-ended questions and there are closed-ended questions. The closed-ended questions are really those who, what types of questions. Usually have like 1 or 2 word responses. What color is the barn? Is it? And your child might say red, or what's the puppy's name? They might say Spot. But the open-ended questions are going to require your child to say a little bit more about what's going on. Why do you think that character felt that way? Or how do you think the story is going to end? They're more of those why and how questions, a lot harder to answer for some of the younger ones, but it's still important to ask them. And as a parent, you can model some good answers for your child to get their juices flowing, to get them to give some answers and understand what kinds of answers you're looking for. It's not about getting the answers right, but just about talking about the book. On the right, just as on the slides before, you'll see another example of a resource for you on the Cox Campus website. That's a great one to Look at to understand open-ended questions to engage your child during storybook reading and just in conversations in general. The last letter, which we've already looked at, is D, and that's all about doing more with the book. So you want to connect the ideas from the book to your child's life so they're relatable. Use the different activities or events that relate to the book in some sort of way. You can have crafts activity, set up your own play, go on a field trip. If you're in the zoo in the book, then go ahead and go to the zoo if possible with your child. Point things out that relate to the book in your everyday life. And again, there's some more resources for you on the right.
Absolutely. Anita, thank you so much for recapping the read strategy and helping our viewers to make the most out of Family Read Alouds. We certainly appreciate it. Again, there's that QR code to scan. I like the quote here. All children have the right to literacy. All adults can help. Thank you so much for being with us today. Enjoy your evening. Take care.
You as well. Bye.
It does make my brain go stronger.
That's right. Does everybody's brain feel stronger? Let's see. I think your brain grew. It's definitely bigger in there. So Miss Crystal was right. Our brains go stronger the more we read books. And the more we can play and act out the book and ask questions, the better we understand the book and the better we understand the world around us. So what were some of those suggestions, Marianne, that you had that we could do to help us learn more about parts?
Maybe we can read more books, make skeletons, research some things online.
That's right. We could build some bodies, maybe use Play-Doh and make the different body parts. Maybe we could even make the boogers that fell out of his nose. Ew. Or we could make a foot out of Play-Doh and then peel off the skin.
But reading books about different parts of human bodies and other bodies are fun too. Like I have a dinosaur book that tells us about all different bones about their bodies.
That's right. We could not just do parts of the body, but we could do other parts like we did when we learned the different parts of the saxophone. That's a really good idea. Well, that brings us to the end of today's session. So thank you all so much, our special friends, for joining us.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week for our last session. All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Miss Jen. I had so much learning and listening to the wonderful music. And I hope we will see you all next week on Tuesday for our last session. Now, in a second, we're going to pop up a quick survey, and I hope you'll all respond. And thank you so much again for joining us this afternoon and for our whole series brought to you by the Cox Foundation. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.